What is your beef? Why do you have such a problem with me?
Can we get the real Andy? I would prefer the real Andy.
Oh, let's get the real Max. I'll take off my mask when you take off your mask, brother.
Because who's your new favorite YouTuber, Ian, that wanted to be on the show with us?
The madman. The madman.
Mad Movie Man.
Let's bring on Max Movies because he scares the living shit out of me. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
Mad Max says, I think you should apologize. Right? I'm sitting here in a goddamn torn down pool house.
I don't even know who
The
you
pool house
are.
is torn apart. Okay, it's torn apart because I'm remodeling on my $70 webcam. Okay, I'm no better than you.
Movie Madness Entertainment. Welcome.
Welcome, MME members. Welcome to MME Members Live. Feel free, if you're available, to go into the community section in the post. The link is there. It might just be me tonight. I know there's a lot going on. There's including WrestleMania. And I'm sorry for going early, but hey, Isaac, how's it going? Nice to see you there. I wanted to talk about the movie industry and how to get new customers instead of focusing on the older customers that may or may not go back based on, I'm wrong. I haven't said anything yet. RJ, if you're available, pop on. You're probably watching WrestleMania, but I want to talk about how to get new customers instead of focusing on ones that may or may not come back based on, even lifestyle changes. And what could really bring people back to the theater? I really love movies. I really do. And I know there's been a lot of criticisms of me, valid, that I don't see as many movies as I used to. But I put in the hard work for many years supporting the industry, buying DVDs, Blu-rays when I could, steelbooks, opening weekend at the theater. I've seen every superhero movie since Blade in the theater opening weekend. The only one I missed was Captain Marvel, and then I regret that. And part of the reason I love the industry so much, and I think that's lost, is innovation. That's why I love James Cameron so much. He's not the most amazing storyteller, but he really pushes the medium forward. And something that I feel like I have my criticisms of the video game industry as well, but something I think that the video game industry does better than the movie industry is really give you the best for their platform, and they push it. And they push it too much so that the games are so expensive that developers go out of business like that, They go out of business like that. And I'm thinking about also, if you think about like the starving artists, some of the best artists, and even come in when you're talking about musicians, when you're talking about George Lucas, I love George Lucas all throughout his career. I love the prequels. I understand not a lot do, but some of the things that made the Star Wars, the original trilogy, so great is the starving artist aspect of it and not having all the technology at your fingertips. So my biggest criticism isn't in the current movie industry is not that it's woke, not that the storytelling is bad or the writing is bad. I think there's some of that. But I don't feel like the movies are as innovative as they once were, or push the genre forward, or try as much as they were. What, Callie? I don't feel like it's pushing the genre forward, and I think we're missing that aspect. The biggest part of the movie industry right now that is still consistently pushing forward is IMAX. And I do think IMAX is a difference that still gets people and is a draw to the theater. The last big push that did kind of failed was 3D. And I at least applauded that they tried to do something different. I think where ultimately 3D failed and people gave up on it is that it was more used as a gimmick and a conversion a way to upcharge the tickets for just a movie that was not intended for 3D, just a filter or an add-on at the end, than native 3D like James Cameron provides. So why did the mic drop hotline number come up all of a sudden? Oh, Joe is here. That's great. Because I know Joe. Hey, Joe, how's it going?
Hey.
How you doing, man? This is a great topic for you as well.
What's the topic? I just got here.
Okay, so I know we go back and forth about criticizing the movie industry right now. I'm more that the quality isn't what it once was. You, in your opinion, go towards that there's great quality there, that people aren't supporting it for whatever reason. So I wanted to ask the question, instead of trying to get people back to the theater, what can the movie industry to get new customers? And my main part of this would be to bring more innovation back to the theater experience, because I'm thinking about the movies that like blew me away back in the day: Star Wars, The Matrix, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Once we got to the Two Towers, and they really, even from the Fellowship of the Ring, when that was released, to the Two Towers, the technology was significantly higher. And I think that's something that has been missing in the theater experience. And I know I am mad at you though, Joe. I am mad at you because you go hard on me just on my opinion about current CGI. And it's a legit. I'm not doing it for clicks.
CGI is impeccable right now. Like I remember when we had bad CGI in the early 2000s. Like, to me, the worst example still is The Mummy Returns. When the Rock.
Oh yeah, that was a great. But that was early.
I mean, early CGI was awful, but now it's like the average big budget movie, the CGI is impeccable. Now, if we're looking at a TV movie like something like Sharknado, okay, it's going to be a little.
I 1000% disagree with you.
Well, I mean,
I think CGI has gotten worse since even 10 years ago.
What has bad CGI?
Well, we're going to disagree. We're going to disagree on this Silver Surfer again.
Well, the Silver Surfer looks exactly like the old Silver Surfer, but now with boobs.
No, it doesn't. Not
the only difference is here and here. That's it.
No, and I'm gonna blow Donovan's mind here too. What happens, Donovan, when you find out? I am highly suspect that the Silver Surfer, the female Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four trailer, was potentially used generative AI created with that. What are you going to do, Donovan, if you find out that the Silver Surfer was created with AI? You are going to flip on that like nobody's business, because Donovan does not like AI. But my opinion, Joe, to counter yours,
what exactly is generative AI? I know what AI is, but what is generative AI?
Generative, from what I'm still a noob on this, but generative AI is it pulls from others and creates it all of the thin air, where other AI still has a digital artist and they just use the AI to refine the image, I think.
Well, with the Silver Surfer, it's a mocap, right? There's an actress. They cast an actress as the Silver Surfer.
There's still CG over it.
Right, I know. So wouldn't that be mocap? Like the 2007 film, Doug Jones, Star Trek Discovery's Doug Jones, Pan's Labyrinth, Doug Jones, he was the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, I don't even think he was all CG. I think just his face was, the body was actually him. Yeah. But here's my take. This is my honest opinion. I'm not doing it for clicks, Joe. I feel like the current age of CG, especially in superhero movies and big IP movies and remakes, is extremely generic looking. It lacks the artistry of some of the special effects in the past.
See, I don't like the word generic. To me, generic is what you say when you don't actually have a complaint, but you want to complain.
It doesn't have enough style, enough artistry.
But it doesn't need to. It doesn't need to, because what's the goal of CGI? The goal of CGI is to make it look like it's really there, to make it look like it's part of the world.
if
So
that's
I don't
it,
need
it failed
them.
for me. Then
I don't need them breaking new ground. I just need them to make me believe that the thing is the. I was just saying this on Perp Stream. Perfect example is Crypto. Like I recently found out Crypto in the Superman trailer is all CGI. I thought that was a real dog. In fact, I think people might be wrong. I think there's got to be a real dog there because we saw people with the robots too. People were like, "Oh, those are CGI robots." Then we saw their practical robots
using similar technology to The Lion King, and it is, I believe, it is CG, but it's good CG. I think there's some moments where I could tell that it was when the jumping around was not like, but this is how I feel, Joe. Part of my love of movies is innovating with special effects. If you're talking about practical, I think some of the best movies of all time were ones where they did not have every resource at their disposal like they do now.
Well, that's one thing you said.
Yes.
You said something about more intervention, or
innovation. Yeah,
you bring more innovation to it.
That's how you could get new people to the theater.
Yeah, but you know what? I kind of don't like that because I feel like cinema at its best, film at its best, is about stories. And
story comes first. Yes.
I mean, we have the movies like Star Wars that, were very special effects heavy and stay with us. But most of the movies that really stick with people aren't special effects movies. They're movies like Rocky or your Citizen Kane or, not things that are more personal stories like your Taxi Drivers, your Godfathers. You know what I mean? So I kind of feel like we just need to get people back. We need to get people to remember how to enjoy a story, because I feel like just the other day, there was an article on Facebook. Somebody posted on Facebook, one of those companies that does news articles published that Warner Brothers was doing Beetlejuice 3. And I saw somebody comment, Hollywood is creatively bankrupt, no new ideas. And I responded, that's not true. And I said, let's look at what's playing at the theater right now. There's more original movies out right now than IP films. I said, for IP films, what's playing right now? Got out my app, looked at my local theater. I said, we got Snow White, we got Minecraft, and we've got Captain America: Brave New World. Those are the 3 movies playing right now that are based on like some kind of IP. Mm-hmm. So we've also got, and I went down the list, we've got Sinners. We've got The Luckiest Man in America, which is based on the guy who gamed the system on the game show, Pressure Luck. We've got Novocaine with Jack Quaid. The Woman in the Yard, Blumhouse horror film. And I went down the list and I wrote every movie that's playing, and the original stories outnumbered the IP films by a wide margin. And the guy responds, yeah, but they're all crap. And I'm like, did you see any of them? No, I don't pay to see crap. And I'm like, interesting. How do you know they're crap then? I'm like, let's go to the tomato meter. Let's go to the cinema scores. A lot of these films are being very well received. Where are you getting that they're crap? And I think it's this weird mental block. First of all, it's an unwillingness to admit you're wrong, because this guy came out of the gate with Hollywood has no new ideas. And when I proved he's wrong and that most of the movies out are new, he had to dig his heels in. He couldn't just say, oh, wow, I didn't realize there were that many original films. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of what we're dealing with. And I don't know what you do about that.
Well, yes, that is a customer. He was an older gentleman, right?
I don't know. But I do know that when I clicked on his profile, his banner above his head on Facebook said "End wokeness." So I don't think he was the smartest guy in the world.
Okay, so this is potentially someone that's been to theaters before, has a skewed view, an extremely biased view if they have it on their headline. I'm talking about new customers. I'm talking about new generations. I'm talking about people that went to the Minecraft movie that don't want to be a-holes. I'm talking about new audiences. Because ultimately, you're fighting a battle when you go to the older audiences that are going to have their biases, their nostalgia. I'm saying
Well,
new
I
customers.
actually think Hollywood is killing it with the new customers, with the younger generation. I'll tell you why. Children's movies are doing very well. Minecraft did very, very well. Five Nights at Freddy's did very well. These are things that obviously appeal to the younger audience. Disney and Pixar films are starting to, they kind of slowed down during COVID, but they're coming back. We saw Inside Out 2 do really well.
And Pixar consistently innovates with special effects.
Well, I mean, it's animation. I mean, the animation keeps getting better, but
right.
I don't know that it's leaps and bounds better. I mean, they're kind of standing on the shoulders
more subtle
of what
than it
they've
used
done.
to be, but Pixar always goes with the most advanced special effects.
But let me ask you: are Pixar movies doing well because of the innovation, or because people appreciate the stories they're telling?
The combination of the both, in my opinion.
Well,
I think for a lot of videophiles, a lot of people that love to watch movies over and over again, yes, there's those stories that you relate to that you brought up earlier, the Godfathers, the Taxi Drivers, but there's a lot there that love to test their home video experience and rewatch Star Wars, Alien, Predator, Matrix, Lord of the Rings, rewatch those movies consistently because it's a combination of good storytelling, innovation, and the best tools at their disposal at the time. And I think that's the biggest thing we're missing right now. I mean, Dune 3, Dune, there's directors. I used this example. If Denis Villeneuve came out with a new Dune 3 trailer and he had that character that looked like Silver Surfer in the trailer, people would be upset, I think, because it's a higher caliber. I think we accept a lower special effects on these big blockbuster comic book movies. Now, I don't say with James Gunn. James Gunn actually has pushed the genre forward a little bit, slightly, with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and then the Superman special effects look good to me. They don't look like the most amazing thing I've ever seen, but they're a higher caliber than we're getting at Marvel.
I've never seen bad CG in a Marvel movie. Not an MCU film. I mean, if we go back to the old school, like 20 years ago, there was some wonky shit. Even in the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man, which I love, there were some shots because it was still the early days where you're like, well, that's clearly a CGI Spider-Man. But I think the newer stuff looks fantastic.
Okay. Well, Jacob says the audience really don't care. I don't think that's accurate at all, Jacob. I think if you have in a special effects extravaganza along with a great story first, story is the most important, the storytelling, but you have that in an IMAX setting, I don't think you can lose if you really push the genre forward. And I don't feel like we've got enough of that. To me, all the Marvel stuff looks extremely samey, generic. You know, the Incredible Hulk in the last Captain America movie is a little bit better. The one that looked like Harrison Ford, that was a little bit better.
But generic is not a bad thing.
To me, it is.
If you've got it, if you have it looking great, then you don't need to reinvent the wheel. I mean, like I don't need to see things. What works. You know, I don't want to see you change what doesn't need to be changed.
I'm not saying sacrifice any part of the movie besides do that, all the other things you want, and also have a really high-end visual feast along with IMAX, and that'll get people to the theater every time.
I mean, if you find a way to do something better, okay, do it better. But if it's working and it's effective, and this is the thing with CGI, if it looks real, and when I say looks real, I don't mean it shouldn't look like it's from the real world. It should look like it belongs in the world you're watching. For example, The Thing. The Thing doesn't look real because we don't have a guy who looks like the Thing in this real world, but he looks like he really belongs in that world. Mm-hmm. If you can achieve that, like, and you mentioned the Hulk. They've been doing the Hulk since when did 2008? And actually, the Hulk improved from 2008 to 2012 when they did the Avengers. The Hulk looked better.
I don't think so.
But you think the 20
not the Eric Bana, the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, that didn't look as good.
Looked better to me and to the lot out there than the Avengers Hulk.
You are literally the first person I've ever heard say that.
There's
I
a
remember
lot of
when
people that say that.
2012, when that movie came out, people said they finally got the Hulk right.
Hey, Anthony's here. Hey, Anthony, how's it going?
So
we're talking about the movie industry and how to get new customers. And one of my biggest criticisms is not woke or anything else. It's just that lack of innovation with special effects. Part of the reason I love movies so much is the innovative films of the past, the big blockbuster movies that really push the genre forward with special effects. And some people say, Max, you watch things on VHS. Yes, I do. And some of those movies were created with the best special effects and tools they had at the time. And they really pushed the genre forward. And so some of them were extremely limited to the tools at their disposal now. And I feel like that's lacking, especially in the big blockbuster movies like Marvel, MCU. What if MCU Marvel films really try to innovate with their special effects and maybe even a better combination of practical and special? Could that bring new customers to the theater? Not trying to get back to the old ones that have their biases, but new customers. I think it would.
no, like the audience, like again, last year, all movies last year was all sequels. The audience don't care about visual effects. The Minecraft movie, that movie looked like shit, and it was going to make $1 billion probably next week or so. The general audience just don't care about visual effects. If you give them a good story, they're gonna see the movie regardless.
Well, they like the Dunes. They like the Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan always brings good special effects.
Yeah, because Christopher Nolan is a well-known director for the last 25 years. If you know a director like Ryan Coogler, Dennis, Chris Nolan, James Cameron, Ridley Scott, depending on the movie, even though some of his movies not a hit, people still go to see it. Like what else? Out of the big I think those are the big directors so far in Hollywood. Yeah, like they go see that because they well-known directors. They don't like seeing the other people, like, for whatever reason.
Well, why is there this big discrepancy what we're getting with Marvel and what, like, Alien Romulus had really good special effects?
Oh yeah, because that's
all the new horror movies have really good special effects.
Yeah, because it's not contained. It's not contained to a larger universe. It's not like horror is like, okay, let me make up. I could do let's say an alien movie with a budget of $80 or $90 million. Okay, the studio give me that, which that's be profitable and stuff. Like the Alien movie that came out last year, it was the highest horror movie of last year. So like, and of course they pushed the.
Don't spam, Donovan. Don't spam,
bro.
Okay, go ahead.
Stop spamming, Jesus. Like it pushed. It did a lot of practical. It did great stuff. Although I did not like they brought back the guy from the first movie. I keep forgetting his name. Even though I know his wife gave the blessing, which that's good. The studio asked and stuff like that. But like it's just it's hard. It's hard to convince the audience. It's really hard. It really is. Like
I don't think it is.
It's just hard. You just can't.
I think you have to make it an event. I think we should. I don't think the industry at the very least, we're not pushing it as forward as we used to. The industry was constantly progressing, new even formats for physical media, constantly trying to adapt and put new things into the industry. The George Lucases, the James Camerons, the Wachowskis, the Peter Jacksons. The Guillermo del Toro, that really push these blockbuster movies forward too. The biggest example I could put to, like, if you look at Pacific Rim to the sequel, the Pacific Rim sequel really declined in CGI quality. Really declined.
Yeah, because the studio literally, the Toyo to the studio, like. Can you just wait for me when I finish this movie? No, we're just gonna go ahead and hire you. Like goodbye. And stuff like that. And that's the reason why the second one was done. Now they're making a TV show, a prequel set in the movies, like a prequel before those two movies now on Amazon that just got announced 3 days ago. No, on Thursday, Friday got announced. So like, now we're getting a prequel of that. like similar to the Marnax, the Marnax show on Apple. Yeah, similar to that. Now we're getting that. So like,
well, I want to play a game with you and Joe. I looked up some articles, innovative special effects. I could probably look up another article too, innovative movies, not that we're just going to special effects because Joe says the story is more important than the special effects, which I agree. But I think there is a large contingent of people that will go for an event that pushes the genre forward with storytelling. If there's a special effects aspect,
I think you're right. But I wish we could get away from that. Like I remember in the 90s, if you think back to the 90s, there was suddenly a big push on independent film. And it was people like Quentin Tarantino and Kevin Smith.
Yes.
And what's his name? Slacker.
Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah, I'm what's the I'm forgetting Slacker's name. Oh geez. Linklater. Richard Linklater. Guys
Linklater. Yeah, he still make a movie Hitman on Netflix. That was amazing, yeah.
Right, but they were pushing people into theaters, and these weren't big special effects films. These were crime films, day in the life films, Paul Thomas Anderson with Boogie Nights, things like that. It was that kind of indie film that started bringing people back to the theaters. Now, we still had the special effects films like Independence Day and Twister and all that. That was still big, but I think what we need is another independent renaissance. I think we're due for one because we had one like in the 70s, we had one in the 90s, and
the biggest equivalent now is just the horror independent genre.
Yeah, horror movies always gonna make money regardless. Yeah, like that's a different audience. Like horror, I just go see it. Open a weekend if it's good.
I mean, part of the horror really disturbs me, but then part of it is like, wow, they did that with somewhat practical in CG, and I was like amazed by some of the things I've seen. It's kind of haunts me too, but I have a lot of respect for what they accomplish on a fraction of the budget that these movies come with, where I'm highly critical, and that also factors into my criticism, the budget of the project and the amount of resources. That really does. That it really bugs me when a movie has a lot of resources at their disposal. Some might say like not unlimited, but as big as resources you can if you're working for Disney, and then you still get this stuff. In my opinion, is not up to snuff for me. But I let's go through the 25 most important movies in special effects history. And if you can tell me the last few years a movie that pushed special effects.
See, I don't think I'm right for this because I don't give two shits about special effects.
I do.
To me, special effects are a tool to tell a story, and I don't really care that much.
And this is the reason I like video games too. Video games are very they innovate each console cycle, and some games of my favorite are the ones that push the genre forward for that history of gaming. And some people might say, Max, why do you like this game from back in the day? It's retro. It has not as good graphics. I'm like, but they really swung for the fences here. And this is an innovative game for its time, an innovative movie for its time. And I love special. There's sometimes I just watch those scenes over and over again. Or, the rewind feature on the VCR. I go back and I rewatch a sequence. I'm like, damn, that was fire. It is very important to me. So that's fair enough that you said that, Joe. That's not the story's most important to you. But I don't think we're getting at the very least as many as we used to. And there's some on here that I still have to see. Like
I do love. I look at that top image. Go back to that top image for a second. I gotta say I do love Maria from Metropolis.
I've never seen Metropolis.
That's a beautiful robot. I mean, that clearly inspired the droids.
Yeah, it came out in 1930. No, it was 30 something, right?
Yeah, 1930s, and look, that looks similar to C-3PO. Like they clearly C-3PO was inspired by that.
Mm-hmm. So I want to go through these because this is part of my love of the movies is this innovative stuff, and I think there are some people. Maybe I'm overestimating the amount of people that love this, but I do think when you have this type of thing, it's going to get new people to the theater, be like, "Wow, I need to see this new special effects extravaganza," but not at the cost of the storytelling. I want to put that out there for Donovan, who said, "Oh yes, style over substance." No, substance and style, substance and style. You know, all right, let's go through this. A Trip to the Moon. I don't know about that one. Metropolis. I've heard a lot of things about Metropolis. Just
supposed to be a TV show on Apple Plus, but Apple canceled it because it was too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a book.
King Kong, 1931. That was a big deal.
Yeah,
it
was made with miniatures at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, does it hold a candle to current day special effects? No, but at that time that was very innovative.
Yeah, at the time, it was crazy at that time for sure.
Yeah. Things to Come.
I never watched that one.
The Wizard of Oz was very innovative. For
people
the time.
still talk about that movie 100 years later.
Was it that one of the first Keller films?
Yes.
I just saw it at the drive-in a week ago.
And one of the things that's really innovative about it too, doesn't it start out black and white, and when they get to Oz, it starts to go Keller? The way they did that.
Yep.
That's amazing. I think about that moment.
Also, to all the people who were like, "Well, if it was good, it would have made money." Wizard of Oz was a flop, box office flop.
Yeah,
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, but
of course, made it up on home video. How many Wizard of Oz?
Oh yeah, and on TV.
Yeah, now on TV, it made
but that was innovative, though, right?
Yeah.
For that time. Oh my goodness! And I'm thinking about something that's not even on this list for animation. The first Snow White. I know I didn't see Snow White. I still plan to see it, but one of the things I feel was lacking. I will have to see the context of the current remake. But one of the things that made Snow White so special back in the day is the first animated feature film. And people thought Walt Disney was crazy for doing it. You know? Citizen Kane. Gojira. That was a really innovative film at the time. The Ten Commandments. It's been a while since I watched that, but one of the innovative parts was Parting of the Sea, building of a U-shaped trowel at Paramount that held 360,000 gallons of water.
That sounds like a James Cameron thing.
Jason and the Argonauts.
Oh yeah, the CG that was Space Odyssey. That's a masterpiece.
Stanley Kubrick was
Ray Harryhausen. Anything Ray Harryhausen did still looks gorgeous today. Like,
he can't go. No, I think this was his last movie before he passed away.
No, Clash of the Titans was his last.
Oh,
movie.
yeah. No, I'm talking about Stanley Kubrick.
Oh, Kubrick. Okay, I thought you meant.
Yeah, I think that was his last movie.
You know, no. If Stanley Kubrick was still alive making movies, he would be innovating the genre.
He would be. I would say he would probably be Ridley Scott.
Right now. If George Lucas was still making movies, he would be trying to use new technologies. The only one that's really doing that for me right now is probably James Cameron.
That's the only one. Yeah.
Denis Villeneuve, maybe.
But you see, but Lucas is a cautionary tale because he got too much.
You say he did style over substance.
Yeah,
I don't believe so. That's my opinion, but I understand people don't like the prequels. But I love what the prequels brought. But yeah, we don't. The last, I think Christopher Nolan still tries to innovate with special effects. Like look at Inception.
Sometimes, not all the time. Like I think,
and through and the current directors through IMAX filming.
Yeah, like I think currently, well, he's filming the Odyssey. We'll see what we look like. Cause rumor that we might get a.
And honestly, I go to less movies now. I hope to change that again. I still have to. I'm opening my parents' cottage next weekend, and then moving my sister the weekend after. So I got my AMC A-list is delayed yet again, but in May, a good time to get your AMC A-list back. I'm getting it back as soon as this move is done, because I moved them and they didn't move into their new house yet. So their stuff is at my mom's house in storage facilities, and then I have to move them back, and then I have to open my parents' cottage for my, After that, I'm getting back to the theater. I didn't get to see Sinners. I really wanted to see Sinners today. They had really limited showings today. Like the one show they had was like 8 p.m. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do my stream then.
I don't feel that I've seen Sinners yet. I went out to the theater to see it, and I fell asleep after the first hour. So people ask me, was it good? I'm like, I don't know. I gotta catch that last hour.
No, so I definitely want to see that movie. I'm really Ryan Coogler. I love Ryan Coogler as a director. So I do want to see that, and I love Michael B. Jordan. But Space Odyssey, Jaws was very innovative for the time, and that's another movie that the
practical slash
that the limitations actually added to the film. They didn't have a little bit of special effects. People,
have you read the book?
No.
Oh. What about
Jaws? I have read the book. Jaws is one of the rare examples where the book pales in comparison to the movie.
Yeah.
The book has all these weird subplots that, quite frankly, you don't need. Like Hooper was having an affair with Brody's wife in the book. The mayor was in with the mob. That's why the mob wouldn't let him close the beaches. Like all these like weird subplots that like Spielberg was quite wise to dispense of. This distracts from the story. This isn't necessary at all.
Well, the other thing that the other reason that I love this, the special effects are a big part of my love of movies. I will keep reiterating that. And the movie was made better because of limitations. They actually had to film the Jaws, animatronic Jaws, not the real shark, was having issues, so they had to film it more like it's an impending doom and not focus on the actual creature so much, and that added to the tension and the filmmaking. So this is another thing this is one of my favorites. In Ask Sean O'Rourke, it's one of his favorite movies. The reason the movie is so good is because of the starving artist. For one, Steven Spielberg wasn't a huge name yet. And
it was known,
and the tension with the filming and the problems they had. They said it was a disaster. This animatronic shark, you know that, right, Joe?
Oh yeah,
yeah, and that added to this movie.
Was this there was this was before Kathleen Kennedy was Steve's assistant, right?
No, yeah, her first movie was Raiders of the Lost Ark. I believe.
Okay, so this is after. This is like 8 years from now, 1975. Yeah, like five.
And this is just as good heads up for Voltaire. FYI, Warner Brothers YouTube channel is non-stop streaming all the Christopher Reeve Superman films. God idea.
I think he meant good idea.
No, I think he meant God idea.
I
read it first, and I was like, no, that's a God idea.
I was just checking this out. Okay, like whatever.
But this is some of the things I'm missing for some. I think the ones that are still bringing it also are Christopher Nolan, Denis Villeneuve, and then who does the Mad Max movies? The director
George Miller.
George Miller, still pretty consistent.
Also,
visuals.
I mean, well, in Odyssey, like Nolan built a lot of practical for the monsters and creatures. So yeah.
Oh, by the way, Max, when we were at the drive-in last week and Kira was with me and I was shooting the VHS wall for you, Mad Max was on the VHS wall. And Kira, I guess, did not know that was the title of a movie. And she saw it and her eyes got wide and she said, "This movie's got his name in it."
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I already have them on VHS, but you got me some good ones, and you told me I have something that's really going to shock me. Don't tell me in advance. Don't give me any hints. I got to get it. I got to get your way in May to figure this out.
It's good stuff. You probably won't know what it is. You'll probably look at it and be like, "What's this?"
Hey, Charlotte, Joker.
Which version of Star Wars do you own, Max? There's so many versions. Like the
I actually have Episode 3 officially released on VHS in Korea.
The first one. Episode
3, Revenge of the Sith. Which was not released worldwide on VHS, only in Korea.
Oh yeah,
it's not a bootleg. There are bootlegs of Episode 3. An official release. Look, actually, if you want me to show it, hold on a second. I have it.
That's weird. That is weird that they didn't do VHS tapes.
Well, to his own detriment, George wanted to go with new technology, so he released it on DVD, and he abandoned VHS, even though he released Episode 1 and 2 on VHS.
He got so much shit for that, though.
What?
When Episode 1 came out, it was right when everybody was switching to DVD, and he only put it on VHS, and it pissed everybody off.
So this is an officially released Korean VHS. I paid like $100 for it.
That's a good price.
Let me open it so you can see the actual markings on the tape.
Well, you broke it.
Have
No,
you
this
watched?
is-
Have
this
you
is
watched
just-
it?
Not. I watched it to see if it worked. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh shit! Some
Is
bubble
it-
wrap.
Is it in Korean or English?
English with Korean subtitles at the bottom.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
Look, it has 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, nice.
This is another cool thing that these were all rentals in Korea. The studios, when they still released VHS after VHS was no longer in America,
Yeah,
they have all these studios imprints on it because they're rentals.
yeah, the rentals. Yeah, that's nice. Look, that's a good copy. How much you pay? $50?
I said 100.
Oh, that's
Look
a
at
good.
that.
That's a good price. Fox, 20th Century.
Oh man, would this be amazing to get signed by George?
Oof, he probably
If I-
break that shit.
What do you mean break it?
Yeah, I mean, he's hating the one that released it on VHS, so he probably hated it.
No.
Yes. Like,
So,
I mean, I
Well,
can understand why people would be mad. Like, why are you going away? Why are you replacing VHS with DVDs? I can understand why people would be mad. Like, yeah, I want.
Well, it's completionists. If you have the first two,
Yeah.
you want to get the last in the format. You don't want to switch to People's
Yeah.
Trilogy. People's Trilogy for the longest time until he re-released
Mhm.
episode 1 and 2 was VHS episode
Mhm.
1 and 2, and then DVD episode 3. It was
Yes,
weird.
I know. Yeah. But yeah, Star Wars 77, yeah, that pushed the boundaries, and so it's a Flash Gordon ripoff. So I'm joking. I love the Flash Gordon.
I have to rewatch Flash
It's
Gordon.
unfortunately they're having troubles to do the new Flash Gordon movies. It's been like 5 directors that left that project.
Alien was
Yes,
really innovative
yes.
for its time.
But now if you go back and watch it now, you could see the bad visual effects in the practical.
I said for its time. They did the best.
but now I'm talking about now. If you rewatch it, but for that time, yeah, it's amazing technology.
I think it still holds up pretty good.
A little bit. The second ones hold up a lot because it's made by James Cameron.
Well, Samuel, I will say that the director is the one that did WandaVision, which people really enjoyed.
Man, that
But
is not the reason
I
why,
do think
bro.
I do feel like Wanda. I am slightly I think the movie's going to be good. I just don't think it's as good as I wanted it to be because I have extremely high expectations for Fantastic Four because I want it to really be really good. But part of the reason that WandaVision was so good that people weren't commenting on as much is the actress really sold that show. Her acting ability. What's her name that played Scarlet Witch? I forget her name.
Olsen.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth Olsen was a big reason for the part of that the success of that.
Yeah,
Her and Paul Bettany.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Like in the early '90s, when like Mary Kate and Ashley were everywhere. Like, hey, these two kids that are real popular with all these like little girls. They have a younger sister who's going to be like a powerhouse actress.
more popular.
Yeah.
She's
Do
still popular.
you see that point, Joe? That show was a great success, but
Yeah.
I could be a little bit critical of the director, like saying, "Yeah, he did a great job there," but a lot of the reason for that success was placed at the actors' abilities there.
You only have a problem with one scene.
I'm not saying he did a bad job directing. I'm saying half the reason that show is so successful is Paul Bettany.
Yeah, but a good performance is only going to get you so far without a good story. They had an excellent story.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So Alien, an American Werewolf in London. The Thing. I still need to see The Thing.
Have you played the video game?
No.
Why?
Tron.
Yes, that looks. No, it doesn't hold up.
No, I think Tron definitely holds up.
No, yes,
Tron looks better today than the second Tron does.
I disagree with that.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yes, it still holds up until this day. Yes.
Terminator 2 was that special effects. That T-1000 people would argue and debate whether that looks better than the Silver Surfer in the new trailer. And this was from 91. Dead Alive, Brain Dead. I haven't seen
Peter
that
Jackson,
one.
I kick ass for the Lord. Time for some divine intervention.
Some might even say that Jurassic Park series, even though it makes money, it's gotten a little stale because it doesn't push the special effects as much as it did.
They all look the same now. Like you just can't
but remember when the first Jurassic Park was out? This was a game changer. Special effects.
Again, though, I don't care about the special effects. The Dominion didn't work because the story wasn't good.
Right. I agree. The story was what failed that movie, not the special effects.
That movie,
remember how much of an event this was, though.
Yes.
Because it was so realistic, people were having heart attacks because they have never seen anything like that before.
Also,
I don't hear people say I've never seen anything like that before at the movies anymore.
The opening scene is great.
The special effects were so realistic to people back in '93 that they were literally having heart attacks in the theater.
I've never heard of that.
Oh yeah, yes. My parents weren't sure to let me see it because there was all in the news. Yeah.
Yeah, but now it looks the same. The new one looks okay. Like okay, whatever.
The Matrix.
Yeah, that pushed visual effects to binary, and that's the reason why those.
The after effect of the Matrix was kind of a detriment, though, because the special effects, the special effects that they introduced in the Matrix, they worked for the Matrix, but when they started doing like bullet time effects in other movies, it's like this doesn't make sense for this.
I think just your point. You have a good point there, Joe. But I think it's the same thing that killed 3D. Is it instead of using it for innovative storytelling and using it as a tool to enhance, it was used as a gimmick. Just like 3D was used as a gimmick, it was overused and more just slapped on for a surcharge for a ticket. If we have native 3D where the director is intentionally looking at 3D, so a lot of movies that are converted to 3D, the director's like, I made this for myself in the theater. I wasn't, the 3D was added later. So I think a lot of that was just like, oh, we could do what they did in the Matrix, and a lot of it was done for like spoofing and stuff, right? But there could have been other things to interpret that technology into an action film that could have made it cool, but now it kind of cheapens it when they just do that. It was overused for the wrong intention, I think.
We'll see what the new one will do. The new one that Andy Serkis is doing directing. I mean, which he is a visual effects guy himself.
See, I thought the Curious Case of Benjamin Button was bad. I did not like the special effects in there.
I actually never saw that movie.
It's a decent good movie. Yeah.
Avatar.
Yeah, of course.
I think it was good special effects, but I still think it could be better.
I do not think the special effects in Avatar are good.
I think they're good.
I remember, because I didn't see Avatar in the theater, and I remember trying to watch it on HBO. And when CGI blue Sigourney Weaver came into the shot, I just thought she looked like a cartoon. I'm like, this does not look real to me at all. Now, maybe it looked better with the 3D. I don't know. But on HBO, I just thought it looked fake.
No, something about Sigourney Weaver's facial features in her version of the Avatar did not look as good as these two, as Neytiri. Something about her character, I understand. But it did a lot, like the mechs and stuff, the action sequences in Avatar, amazing for me.
Yeah, the new one looks good. It's still pushing the boundaries and people go.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh yeah,
amazing special effects.
Yeah, you can the car scenes and stuff. You can go wrong with that. Yeah, that's it.
So
let's a ton of movies.
This is a part of the tentpole movie, blockbuster experience that I think some of cinema is missing right now. That's not getting.
Now, we started this off. We were looking at that picture of Maria from Metropolis.
Mm-hmm.
There is an old movie character that I have an intense love for. To the point that I've told Christine, if I ever hit the lottery, I'm buying a life-size replica. I said, be prepared, because there's a life-size replica coming to our house if I ever hit the lottery. and that character is Robbie the robot from Forbidden Planet. Like, I still think this is the greatest robot in movie history. He's just visually beautiful.
It's cool.
I love Robbie so much.
I've never seen that movie, but I've seen him before.
Yeah, well, because Robbie the Robot became something of a star after that movie because they made other movies around him. He made appearances on TV shows. He was on The Addams Family. He was on the Lost in Space. I mean, people mix up Robbie and the Lost in Space robot. They're two different robots, but Robbie did make a couple cameo appearances on Lost in Space. He was on the 2 episodes of The Twilight Zone. So he was created for that movie, but he became so popular. He made a lot of appearances in pop culture on TV and in other movies. He was in Gremlins. Yeah. He shows up when Billy's dad goes to the convention with all the other inventors. Robbie the Robot's there at the convention.
That's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I eventually want to check that out too.
Yeah, I have an intense love of Robbie the Robot. If you ever listen to the Talking Films podcast with Ben Mankiewicz, one of the questions he always asks his guests is, you are a thief and you break into a warehouse that contains every movie prop known to man. What are you stealing? And obviously I've never been a guest on the podcast, but I'm always like, Robbie the Robot. I'm taking Robbie.
That's cool. I should check that. I should check that movie out on VHS. Let me see. What did you think? You know, there's lots of people watching wrestling right now. So we won't go too much longer, but we'll talk about Star Wars Celebration 2025. Were you paying attention to the news, Joe? Are you happy about Star Wars Celebration news?
I loved the leaked trailer for
I didn't see it. Can you send it to me? Is it gone?
No, it's all you guys over.
It's been taken down, but I did screenshot it, so I don't know if it's going to let me send something that long to you.
Okay.
I'll try to send it now.
The video should be. I know they coming back in. They returning in Los Angeles in 2027, which will be the 50th anniversary of the original movies, and where they show the first scene of the first season of the Clone Wars TV show, animated. With Dave Filoni and the others that were in them. So
I was gonna go if it was in Florida. I don't know if I want to get to California or not.
They're probably.
I've never been to California, so I don't know.
Yeah, you got to get in touch with somebody over there. But yeah, it's in 2027. That's in 2027, so 2 years from now. So.
It says it went through. Now the funny thing is, this is a screen recording. Like, I'm recording it off my phone because I knew it was going to get taken down.
Yeah,
so
somebody.
Let me do a screen recording.
I like the Ryan Gosling thing. What the movie's going to be about. That was good. I like the Mall TV show, animated project. That's I like that we get it next year. So it's coming out next year, which that's good. And then they announced a couple of anime characters.
Cool.
This
we sent to me.
Yeah, here's the funny thing though. It is a screen recording, so you will see me getting texts throughout the video. Like, I kept trying to dismiss them, but texts kept coming through.
Cool. I'll look at it later because it's sideways. I gotta edit it. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. I can watch it now. Cool. So I didn't get to see that. What did you think of the trailer then since you saw it?
Looks fantastic. Sigourney Weaver's in it. She looks better than she did in Avatar.
I love Sigourney Weaver. I do love Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. It looks one thing that surprised me though is the movie's called The Mandalorian and Grogu, and there is a line in the trailer where he says, "My name is Din Djarin, and this is Grogu," and I'm like, isn't he supposed to be Din Grogu now? Didn't they in season 3 decide he was Din Grogu now?
I can't remember the season.
But she didn't call. He didn't call him that though. He just called him Grogu.
Damn, been 3 in there. I haven't watched that. I haven't watched season 3 in 3 years.
But it looks great. I'm very excited about the Sean Levy movie. Though there was some sad news that came out this week about the Sean Levy movie. Apparently, Mikey Madison from Anora was offered the co-lead role and turned it down due to toxic fandom because she didn't want to be part of the Star Wars universe.
I hadn't heard the fandom.
No,
part.
she didn't. No, she turned it down. No, she turned it.
I heard she turned it down, but I didn't
she turned it down. She didn't turn it down because that she doesn't know what project she went to star in after she won her Oscars. That's the reason why she hasn't picked. That's the reason. That's the reason why we. No, Hollywood Reporter says that's the reason we haven't heard what project she has next because she's picking on what movie she want to star after her Oscars. Which that's every time you win an Oscar, every actor does that. I don't know what movie I'm gonna do, which I think it would have been cool, but I can understand why she passed on it. Like I don't want to do this right now. Maybe later. Which, like, I mean, you know, I don't blame her for that. I really don't.
Hey, Perp, I'm glad you're here. You kind of missed the main topic, but I would love to get your opinion on it. I am very passionate about special effects. I have the what Joe? What Perp?
I can't see you. My freaking thing sucks. Anyway, okay, sorry.
Okay, so I asked a lot of our movie discussions about the theater, and we could talk about Star Wars Celebration 2 is what we were currently talking about. But I want to get your thoughts on the main topic. A lot of talking that we do on Movie Talk is how to get people back to the theater.
Sure.
And my question is how to get the movie industry to get new customers instead of trying to get weasel back the people that may have new watching habits or extreme biases and personalities. Like it's never as good as it used to be. And part of the love of my movies, and Joe says this is secondary to him, but there's a lot of people that love movies that might be in a similar boat to me. I love special effects and the special effects with, practical CG. And I do feel like a lot of big blockbusters don't push it special effects like they used to. Now, I opposite with the horror genre. I think horror's consistently pushing special effects. I think the Denis Villeneuve's, the Christopher Nolan's, they always have a really amazing special effects. But as the industry as a whole, for the big blockbusters and the Marvel movies, and I people really got upset with my Silver Surfer take. I think the Silver Surfer and a lot of CG, a lot of my pet peeve is, or just hear me out, is that it looks generic. It looks like generic CG, whereas a lot of practical and CG from early days of movies had a lot of flair, visual style. I think we're missing that with some of this stuff. In my opinion, and a lot of movies I love are the ones that pushed special effects genre forward. Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Matrix, Lord of the Rings. And I think if you bring something like that on that level, that could get new customers if you have a visual smorgasbord and an innovative thing like, wow, I've never seen that before. And I don't think you get that at the theater currently, unless you're talking about the Denis Villeneuve's or the horror movies. Well, I haven't seen that before, and that's my main criticism. But Isaac might be popping into. I know it's a lot at once, but
let me do a little bit of pushback. Okay, sure. I think there's a sense of, and you're gonna hate this, Max, that there's a sense that we've been spoiled. Now, what do I mean by that? I think there used to be a time when, if you look at the 90s, the 80s, the early 2000s, when the special effects movies were usually contained, they were usually contained within the summer blockbuster. Maybe you get like something in Christmas too, right? Those were like the big spectacle movies in that. We've evolved to a time where those type of movies are coming out every other month. Like the $200 million movies are coming out in February, they're coming out in March, and they all have huge, huge effects, right? So we're getting those effects, and because of that, we want that jump, and sure, we want it from certain products, but I still feel we do get that evolutionary leap with the avatars, with the Dunes, with the Creator, with the Godzilla -1. We're still getting those movies, just like back then. Every once in a while. The problem is we get summer blockbuster spectacle every day. It's like we could get that in the TV now. That's the problem. So I think there's a little bit of like our eyes are used to this stuff. So it's like, I mean, sure. When I saw the Silver Surfer, I was like, okay, not the coolest looking thing ever, whatever. The other effect shot looked great, right? Like the thing going through the wall.
Mixed bag for me, yeah.
But I'm talking the effects. We're talking about the effects. The thing going through the wall looked great. Like Yeah, people say you're saying there's no excuse for Hollywood. I think there is, especially with what we're asking for. We're asking for TV shows, continuous movies. There's only so many CGI studios being shared within all the studios, and look at how much like Disney on its own when it comes to CGI is asking for between the Star Wars shows, the movies, Marvel shows, Marvel movies. So I am a little lenient. I think, like, especially if I want all these things, if I want it consecutively, because I got a feeling if they take their time, they're like, okay, you know what, we're going to take our time with the effects. You know,
well, I want to push back on your pushback.
Go ahead.
I have zero leniency for big IP films that have this leg up on the rest of the industry when all these indie art house places could do special effects for the fraction and accomplish much more visual flair, artistry, using a better combination of practical and CG. And part of it comes down to management direction. I know RJ had a pushback of Crunch. Crunch should not be an excuse to deliver subpar effects to the consumer.
It's management of hours and hours of content. It's not versus what you're saying. Look at how this independent movie put 2 hours together versus like whole arcs, movies, and like have to coincide with the shows that have arcs, all this stuff on top of the effects. Like that is a totally like it's night and day. Like you're asking Marvel to act like Terrifier. Like that's not realistic.
I think it's completely realistic.
How so?
They have way more resources and time.
They have way more projects. They have way more projects.
Not anymore.
What do you talk?
How many movies? They have 3 movies coming out.
They have 3 movies, and how many shows coming out?
4 movies in the next 2 years.
And this year, and how many shows?
All
require the same. All the effects, all those shows require more.
But to be fair, TVs and shows are different than making a movie. TV show, you send in.
But they all have to coincide stories, arcs, and have a visual consistency.
Not really.
Also, let's not lose sight. Let's not.
Bro, they literally told you that Wonder Man is not connected to the multiverse. Ironheart is not connected to whatever the hell is going on.
But now Max would Max want it connected? Yes, Max want connection. Because Max has said that before.
No, I do want connection,
exactly.
But I don't think that's an excuse. I don't think that's a point.
That's a great excuse. If you want quality, if it's like a video game, would you rather it be delayed or like and come out good or fast and?
But let's also not lose sight of the fact, though, that Fantastic Four. If you want to talk about innovation, this movie looks like the most innovative MCU movie we've seen in the past 15 years. I was saying just yesterday, this isn't the movie I'm most excited for. I'm most excited for Superman. But from a visual standpoint, Fantastic Four stands alone. Nothing looks like this. It's got that retro future look. It is visually breathtaking. I look at that trailer and I'm like, I've never seen an MCU movie like this.
I do like the art design of their costumes and the invisible car and things like that, and the robot. And Galactus, I'm not sure of. There was some scenes that kind of looked like a Godzilla film. They're kind of going with that type of filming.
I don't understand. Y'all never read the director's interview every time he does. Like he literally said, confirm me. I made Galactus a practical miniature as well, so we could see the reference on set with the actors.
Okay.
Can you put up Samuel's comment because he's already so wrong? Put up Samuel's last comment.
One thing Perp is missing out.
Okay, one thing Perp is missing out is the director are constantly changing their mind. Dude, I already know you're full of it because they're not changing their minds. They're working with what if producers decide, hey, do this instead. They're adding things, production woes. There's different reasons why a script changes. It's not just the writer changes their mind. What are you, nuts? What writer and you know what the producer would say if the writer, hey, I'm changing this line. You know what the producer would say? You know what the studio head would say to that? Okay, we're using your last draft. Like, what the fuck is that? You don't change your that's how I know you don't know what you're talking about. Damn.
I think there's both things are true, Perp. That
writers can't just change their mind. What do you mean?
No. I mean, I think the movies are changed a lot, but because like you said, of what these universes require, to move things around. But yes, they leave things from what James Gunn has criticized about Marvel, and he said he's done things different. And this is where I give James Gunn a lot of credit, especially as kind of a jab at Marvel, is we don't start filming till the script's locked. Marvel does.
Yes, but also look at the output they're doing right now versus Marvel. 3 movies, Marvel. How many shows is coming out this year alone? 2? Like that's a lot. Versus we got one movie this year from DCU, and then another movie for like we got a cartoon.
This is from James Gunn himself, though. Perp. He said they start filming.
I know
before the script's ready.
That's not what's expected from Marvel. I mean, and look what's going on with Superman, where people are upset with the lack of marketing. Like people are thirsting for more and more. Marvel isn't.
Well,
Marvel is not in that position. They cannot just stop.
Hey, Isaac, how you doing? I know this is a topic. Isaac has a hot video on me on his channel.
One thing, like Bob did say, okay, like next year you are getting 2 MCU movies next year. You're getting Doomsday and Spider-Man 4, and then I believe Vision Quest, which I don't know if that would tie into Doomsday. We don't know. I think that's like similar thing to Agatha. That's like a sequel to that. Like the Agatha universe. That's like similar. That's like the WandaVision. That's just like different stuff.
I don't know.
But other than that, yeah, like
for me personally, I am going to get back to the theater. My friends love to watch movies. I want to share this love of discussion with talking with Joe.
Have you watched Sinners?
No, I was going to go see it today, but they
didn't have limited theaters.
The screenings were very limited.
There
was 4DX, and I didn't want to see that. And then 8 p.m.
Oh no, that's not good. No, that's not good.
Yeah,
I don't know why it was so limited.
Don't
I gotta tell you, I'm getting tired of gimmick formats. 4DX
I don't like. No.
4DX.
Yeah, don't watch the movie of 4DX. Yeah, that's terrible.
What do you call? But worse than 4DX is ScreenX, where
I like IMAX.
They project onto the sides. IMAX is the most tolerable gimmick format, but I
don't think it's a gimmick at all.
It's.
You think it's a gimmick?
Just give me a good movie. Just give me a good movie. I don't need an IMAX screen at an upcharged price to appreciate a good story.
I don't even. What's really funny is that I don't even remember after 3D. After a while, I don't even remember seeing that movie in 3D. Like I saw Deadpool and Wolverine in 3D, but I don't remember seeing it in 3D. My memory's in 2D. It's weird.
I only watched Avatar in 3D.
Well, let's get our pal Isaac because he hasn't been on a member stream in a while. Hey Isaac, how's it going?
Good.
Do you have a love of really innovative special effects movies like I do? What's your thoughts on special effects in movies right now?
I don't really care for the special effects. I just like
you just there for the story. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. We have people with that opinion.
Max, you don't think you get your just as many innovative technological jumps with like the creator. The effects looked great and they looked like they took a jump. Like Avatar, the Avatar movies, the
Avatar
movies. Like every once in a while, like we get it
every
in the
once
same
in a while, yes.
Like just like before, every once in a while you get like a huge jump with the Titanic, Independence Day. Like it takes.
Man, I think
they used to be years apart.
I think the blockbuster mainstream movies used to push it more than they used to now, and maybe it is. Maybe there's people. Maybe there's a lot like Joe and Isaac that they're.
I think getting a movie like Brave New World in March is crazy. Like that's why. Like we're having blockbusters every month.
Also, like look at Minecraft. That movie does not look good and it made money.
Like, yeah,
well, that's a different sell.
Well, yeah,
that's all CGI.
Yeah,
well, here's the thing.
And if you're thinking in terms of for the consumer's sake, how did Minecraft?
But here's the thing with Minecraft. I think Minecraft does look good for what it's supposed to be, because they have a very set design of what those Minecraft characters look like. So it's like if they want it to look like the video game, it's like, well, we got to make it look like this, but more real than this. So they kind of have set parameters.
But like
I think it's effective. I think it's effective for what they're trying to do.
And I actually think people are going to turn on. Hold on, let me bring this up again. No, Silver Surfer, when they find out that it was generative AI was used to create that Silver Surfer.
You don't know.
That's mocap.
That's mocap. No, bro.
I don't know.
There's an actress in there.
The actress literally says it's a mocap suit. Like,
can't it be a both?
No, you cannot use AI. What? No.
I mean, if it
works, bro.
It works.
You're gonna see when the movie comes out in the next 3 months from now. After we get the behind the scenes, which will probably be 3 weeks after the movie comes up, because that's what every actor does. Like they're gonna do the same thing with James Gunn Superman. David's probably gonna post a picture behind the scenes of what he did.
I was you know who I was
Yeah,
most mad at the other day? Our good pal CGH for me. Man, I wanted to tear off his ass yesterday. I told him to F off.
Why?
Really mad at him. Like,
Why? What did he do?
Because he claimed that I'm just a Fandom Menace channel and I was doing it for clicks and I might as well go back what I used to do. I was like, F you.
I don't know,
Yeah,
Max.
that was funny.
Sometimes I question you, and I'll tell you why.
I'm being genuine.
I'll tell you why, because like you're doing it now. You're doing it now. Here's the thing.
Because I'm frustrated.
Sometimes you'll say something controversial, and then you get this devilish smile.
Because I get the shitstorm. I see the shitstorm coming. I see you coming, Joe.
Yeah, you see, look, you're doing it now. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like I see you do that. You'll say something, and then you'll go, and it's like you're trying to wind us up.
No, I'm not trying to wind you up. I know if I stress my opinion that it's gonna. I know what my gun nuts are gonna say to me. And
when it comes to what?
I know on certain topics.
But which opinion specifically?
Well, I did not
Which
foresee
what opinion did Gun Nuts? What opinion did Gun Nuts go after you for?
I know for one, the Silver Surfer. I did not
Gun
foresee
Nuts?
that coming.
Gun
no,
Nuts?
no, not Gun Nuts. No, not
Gun
Gun
Nuts.
Nuts.
I'm asking for Gun Nuts examples. Because us
what did the last one you get
Gun
mad
Gang
upset?
gets a bad rep, but we don't do weird.
What
was the last one you got upset with me, Perp? I'm trying to think about
anytime you said something that I never said. like I had
The
you were more progressive than me because you prefer Supergirl in a skirt. And I was just like, what? I like the skirt. What the hell?
Oh, that was Joe that was saying she should wear pants.
And I was just like, what? I never said that.
I know.
That felt like a step back.
A step back.
So there you go. And there you go. That's James Gunn's DCU, and I'm giving you criticism. So it's not like I'm just going to blindly be like, everything he does
wear
is
pants
great.
now because some women prefer pants over skirts.
Look, I'm married to a woman.
I know, but I think women should wear whatever they want.
Well, I have heard from the women in my life.
Oh my god!
That is not a practical thing to wear into battle, and
that's fine. Not every woman speaks for all women, though.
Oh my!
Even
God.
though your wife is lovely.
Sometimes it's not your take itself; it's how you use that take and your reasoning. Sometimes is, I think, what gets people upset.
Someone asked in my mailbag if I should bring back some Snyder Bros. I'm like, I can't.
Oh, no.
I can't bring any Snyder Bros over for an interview anymore.
Yeah, man, they probably.
I mean,
block your ass.
What does that even mean, Snyder Bro? Like, who's the Snyder Bro? Like, Fourth, isn't he a Snyder Bro?
That's why, not him.
Fourth is Fourth. He's his own man.
Yeah, he's very.
You know what I mean, though. Like, he's around.
A Snyder Bro, one that talks about Snyder still every day.
Oh, by the way, I gotta get going.
Okay,
in a minute, but I do, because Sean's here in the chat, and I do have something I want to say to Sean over.
Oh, gross, Sean.
Because Sean was on Slab's Free Talk last week. And he said something that had me sitting in my chair watching the TV, just going, "What are you talking about?" He said something about James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy. And he said, can you remember a single line of dialogue from that movie? And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm Star-Lord. Who? The dance
Star-Lord, man.
Yeah, I am Groot. Like, I mean, God, there's so many. I don't think anyone's 100% a dick. Oh, I didn't know how this thing worked. There's so many memorable lines. And then he goes, can you remember any lines from part 2? I'm like, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. He may be your father, but he ain't your daddy. Like, I mean, these movies are just filled with memorable dialogue. And I'm sitting there going, what are you talking about, man? This movie is just chock full of memorable quotes.
Oh boy.
So anyway.
Okay. So CJH is suggesting Perp Bros, not Gun Nuts. The Perp Bros unite. Uh-oh.
I don't want to have a cult.
You don't want to have a cult? It's too late, Perp.
No.
It's too late.
Disavow.
Thanks, Joe. Okay.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
I'm Mary Poppins. Oh God.
We
it's a
Perp
great line.
Giga Chads? Oh God.
One of my favorite lines from
Christina, I did not exercise again, but I will tonight. That's why I went streaming a little earlier so I can exercise right after this.
One of my favorite Guardians Part 2 lines that I use all the time. My turds are
I don't
famously
like.
huge.
I mean, Guardians 2 is okay.
I don't
but
remember that one.
Guardians 2 is okay, but I like the first one and the third one. That's it.
No, I think other people.
No,
can,
the Mary
Sean.
Poppins line. Come on.
Nah, the Mary Poppins.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yeah.
I just, for instance, when James Gunn
I didn't
was
even
there,
like that
I
movie
do
in that-
think
I
James
remember.
Gunn pushed the special effects for Marvel. There were some scenes, even though I didn't like Guardians 2, that scene where it like goes off to the side and they're fighting in the
You don't
background
like
was amazing.
Guardians 2?
No, I just don't
Oh
like.
my
I just
God.
don't like the ego living planet. Is too weird for me.
Oh my God, that's one of my favorite MCU films. It's definitely my favorite of the Guardians films.
I love 1 and 3. I don't hate
See,
2.
I think 3 is kind of
just-
weak. I think
I
Guardians
have to say,
3
I
is
think-
Gunn's weakest
I
film.
think 2
Oh, no.
is very average at best, but
3
for
was
the first
awesome.
one and the third one was amazing. Yes.
I love the third one.
The third
I
one,
love
the
3.
third one is good for what it was, but
It was dark, man. I like that.
Endgame ruined.
That guy was
the
an
Guardi-
asshole.
Endgame ruined the Guardians of the Galaxy movies because by killing off Gamora, they screwed up the chemistry between the characters. Because the secondary Gamora, the alternate universe Gamora, the chemistry wasn't there anymore. And that third film just was like the characters yelling at each other and sniping at each other and getting pissed off, and the magic was missing. And it's because of the events of Endgame. But yeah, it's easily the weakest of the 3.
I totally disagree. I think it's the strongest of the 3.
Cheeseman, you know do you believe? Stop
No, the
it.
strongest villain, High Evolutionary was an amazing villain.
Again, I disagree. I think Ego the Living Planet is the best villain in the entire MCU.
No, he's not a villain. He's a dad.
I know, but
Same thing.
They've never had a stronger
Same thing in the
villain.
Marvel universe, right?
They've never had a better villain though. He killed Star-Lord's
They
mom.
never had a better villain.
He gave Star-Lord's mom.
Loki.
No, he gave Star-Lord's mom cancer. Like that is so evil. When he said that, when he's like, "Oh yeah, I had to give her the cancer," I'm like, "Oh my God, this is the most evil son of a bitch we've ever seen."
I don't know.
In one of these
Thanos.
I don't. I don't like. Like it's a decent movie. I don't hate it. It's a decent movie. Yes. I don't.
Oh yeah, no. But here's the thing. What
I
Joe?
mean, I think.
Wait. What am I arguing about writers' decisions? I am not.
Huh?
I am not arguing any writers' decisions. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I am not.
Go.
Is he late?
I think there was commentary. I think there was even commentary in Guardians. I think James Gunn did a smart job of like if he did have plans and he had to change them, like he did. He wrote down his feelings in that movie.
No, like Feige. Bro, Feige, people say, well, Marvel doesn't give a lot of creative. Like, Feige will give you credit. Like, he gave James Gunn credit.
You got to kind of earn it a little bit.
Yeah, like, he gave Ryan Coogler a lot of creative freedom. I hate this shit film. I think Perp C on film Twitter. I hate that. Oh, Ryan Coogler doesn't have. Yes, he does.
I really want to see.
I know.
I love all the buzz.
Sam Raimi, even Feige's like, yeah,
Joe,
I don't need to be on set.
Joe, can you explain yourself?
Well, what is the question? He said I talked about this on Perp Stream. I don't know. I said on.
Yeah, let's.
What I said is you have to let these writers write, and you can't write the story for them. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not a bad thing to say. What is wrong with that?
Yeah, I
let the writers write. Yeah,
exactly.
What is wrong with that? Like you have to at the end of the day.
What am I missing here?
At the end of the day, if you're the director, you tell your writer what you want, and they write it. If you don't like the idea, you could change it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
don't see what Joe says. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Like James Gunn writes his movies. He said in the past, if I don't like the idea, I might change it.
I feel like we're missing something here.
Yeah, like what is missing what Joe's saying?
I don't know.
I do.
Oh, I want to.
Yeah, I don't get what is Joe missing?
I've seen a lot of bangers in this.
Isaac, if you have a topic you want to talk about since you're here, if you want to think about, let me know. Anything you really loved about this weekend of news, Star Wars, or any Marvel or DC topic you want to talk about, let me know. I don't know if you wanted to, you're still going to stay for this, Joe. I wanted to bring this up. This is a great moment from Star Wars Celebration.
Let's go to see.
This is the hype for Manny Jacinto and people wanting Acolyte season
I
2.
feel let me. But before you play,
Why do you do this to me?
I feel bad for the guy because you could
Why?
tell that you could tell the crowd, like not the online people. The online people are stupid. Those YouTubers, like
he's keeping the hope alive.
Yeah, like the hope alive. But it's sad that and the fans. You could tell the people on YouTube is a small percentage because look at everybody. It was 100,000 people there.
If Kathy brings back Acolyte, I will take everything bad I ever said about her.
Why put that pressure on? How dare you?
Don't do that.
I believe fully there will be a second season of sorts of the Acolyte, and the reason I say of sorts is
animated or live action.
Live action, but I don't think it'll be called the Acolyte season 2. I think it'll have a different name. I think.
Oh, you talking about Plagueis?
He's not talking. Wait, let me confirm with Fourth. I think Crazy Joe wasn't talking about fans' preferred alternate personal takes on stories. He was talking about one writer to another between the movies that it changed.
And what am I talking about? I've lost track.
It was between the character of Gamora, between Endgame, between the Russos, and then going back to Guardians, how it changed. The character changed.
Oh yeah,
that's between writers. That wasn't through fan input.
That was not fan. That was literally
that's the Russos versus James Gunn's interpretations of the character.
Right. What happened to Gamora was the right decision for Avengers Endgame. Yeah. It was the right thing to do for the story of Avengers Endgame. Unfortunately, the after effect there is that the cast of characters that then carries into Guardians 3 is not the same, and they did not have the same chemistry. I don't know that you could have done anything differently unless if you did Guardians 3 before Endgame.
I do love the Peter and Gamora when she asked him at the end, what was it? I bet we was fun together. I do like that. That was a very beautiful moment between those two characters. Like, yeah.
It's not a bad movie. I just think it's James Gunn's worst movie because the magic wasn't there that was there, and that chemistry of the first two films was missing.
Instead, there was this deep.
But I still enjoyed it.
I loved.
Yeah, I love that movie. I do love
the magic. Give me that dread.
I do love the hallway scene from
Shout out Villainous.
Yep, that was a good movie. We'll see we'll see the action scenes in the new Superman movie how it is.
Before I go, I got to point out Samuel in the chat is completely wrong. He says no one wants an Acolyte season 2.
Max, play the video, Max.
I do.
I mean, it was the second most watched.
He didn't know what he was talking about.
It was the second most watched show on Disney Plus last year. The only reason it was canceled was due to budgetary reasons.
Yeah,
it was very, very expensive.
That's not the only reason, Joe.
That is the reason. They came out and said it. They came out and said it.
Voltaire, we don't break, we don't bend, and we don't fold. Voltaire, stay straight.
Right. What they should have done was commission a second season at a lower budget, like they did with Superman and Lois season 4. They lowered the budget on that.
I think all things are considered,
Voltaire, you're
Joe, but I think one of the biggest aspects was it went over budget for sure. But I don't think you can ignore the reception.
5 people want
the reception from the fans was strong. The reception from the anti-fans was negative.
No, lack of viewership numbers. It was not as high.
Is it lack show on Disney Plus? The second most viewed show. If that's the case, then everything else on Disney Plus should be canceled too because they did worse.
Yeah, no. Well, let me just say something. The budget was definitely went overboard through no fault of their own.
You could tell because it was.
But everyone was wrong about the budget anyway because everyone was laughing at 180, and everyone was like, "How can this cost 180?" And I was like, "You guys have no idea what you're talking about. This shit looks better than 180." And sure enough, it costs more than 180.
Yeah, and also because we saw the behind the scenes.
But beyond what I want to say, which is very important, there was a huge jump on YouTube and streaming services when this COVID stuff was happening. Okay, huge spikes. Now, it could be said that I think maybe, and again, I'm one of those people that I don't think Acolyte needs a season 2. I'm perfectly satisfied with the story.
Yeah, me too. I don't.
But it could be said that they did maybe jump the gun when they didn't realize what the stabilization was going to look like once everything stabilized after everything, where they were still expecting high spike numbers. There's so many channels, so many other people are realizing that, damn, we spend way more because we thought these numbers were going to stay high, and now everything is going back down. And you could see that with like Daredevil numbers. You could see everything where it's everything. They're still working off like COVID, everyone's stuck inside sort of mind frame.
Well,
that's just not the case.
The Acolyte finished filming in 2021. At that time, that was like it came out this year. No, last year. I can't remember. Was that last year or this year? I can't remember. Came out. No, it was last year. Yeah, that was almost 3-4
Isaac,
years.
Isaac, did you like the Acolyte, Isaac?
No, I didn't want it.
Yeah, but I do think if you really want to continue, you probably do the ended with Dark Plagueis and his apprentice. And that's it. If you want to do that, but other than that, like I don't need it. Yeah.
That's another reason why I don't want Acolyte, because then everyone's gonna be expecting this Dark Plagueis shit. And it's just this is gonna ruin everything.
Yeah.
Lord and all this stuff, and it's like I don't need this shit. Like let him stay in the background.
If you do get a chance, go check out Isaac's channel where he roasts the hell out of me. For sure, go check out its video. He really went hard on me. He went harder on me than some of you.
But before I go, I'll say the Acolyte is the perfect example of why you shouldn't listen to online commentary, because this is a show that gave the fans everything they've been asking for. Everything you hear Star Wars fans saying, this is what we want. They get a show that gives it to them, and then they reject it mainly because they read online that the writer was a gay woman, and they're like, oh, it's pushing a gay agenda, when it really wasn't. But because, people say, oh, we want original characters. We don't just want the Skywalkers. Here's a movie with all original characters. We want more Jedi action. Here's a show with more Jedi action.
I have no problem. I have to always preface this. I have no problem with this whatsoever for me personally. But when you have the show creator and the main star saying this is the gayest show ever as a joke, people got triggered by that too. And that may have impacted for some people. I don't think that's right, but it's
and I had somebody tell me.
What do you mean it's terrible?
That's terribly sad. If you got triggered by a joke, it's like gayest show ever. Sure.
I had somebody tell me that the show was pushing a gay agenda, and here's the thing:
if you hear that and you have people that are paranoid,
you don't have a single character.
That's crazy.
In the entire show, you don't have a single character that is confirmed to be gay. We have these witches who we assume are probably lesbians, but it's never actually explicitly stated that they are.
Really explaining.
And then the main love story is a male-female love story between Osha and Manny Jacinto. So it's like you're saying this is pushing a gay agenda, not even remotely. Like not even remotely. The gay agenda is it was made by a gay woman. But none of it's on this.
They can't even make normal like straight things. It's still a gay agenda. It's crazy.
They call it phobic for a reason. They feel like if there's any of that in it, it's not me. I don't feel this way. That could have impacted things, Joe. When that's terribly sad. Press. Yeah, no,
it had like some of the best action, some of the most innovative Star Wars.
I don't think the writing
great
was
writing,
bad.
Great characters.
I mean, the writing was good.
It was really like the perfect Star Wars show. I mean, I love Mandalorian a little bit more, but it's second only to Mandalorian.
I thought
this was great Star Wars.
This TGH Entertainment Plus Canadian $2.79.
I love it.
Imagine if Rebels Clone Wars ended with season 1. Absolutely.
And the beautiful thing is we're seeing a groundswell of support for the show after the fact.
I think if this would have continued, you would have got Acolyte content in the theater and it would have been amazing.
You're just all wrong, because like Forth says Acolyte should be studied for bad writing and plotting. It's like, well, bring it up, because I think it actually had really good writing, especially characters.
Writing.
The best writing in Star Wars right now is Andor.
I think I think if there's, to be fair, there's an issue between the writing and the presentation, and it's only between 2 episodes. But other than that, I thought the writing was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get to this.
I'm gonna go. I gotta make pee tinkles.
Oh God. Please leave if you're going to do that. Yes, thank you. Joe.
Yes, I'm going to end this live stream, and then I'm going to.
No, don't end it.
No, I'm leaving this stream, and then I'm going to go and I'll be streaming somewhere else.
And terrible.
All right,
acting,
that's a little bit better than the other things.
No, I don't think it had terrible acting.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Joe. Don't end the stream like you did last time, a long time ago.
Maybe I will.
I'm just gonna.
What am I gonna do? You don't know.
That would be funny.
It'll be a surprise.
Hey, Blue Jay, how's it going, Blue Jay? I just removed you so you didn't accidentally press something, Joe. All right, so Blue Jay, how are you doing? I still got to make that an emoji. This was a legit face. People think I did that. I was like, no.
No, I was literally on break, and then I was scrolling to YouTube, and I saw that thumbnail, and I was like, I had to screenshot it real quick.
Yeah,
I know that I'm gonna make this.
That's my resting mad face. My resting mad face.
I mean,
Yeah.
Fourth, do you think? Okay, look what Fourth said. We're talking about writing and plotting. How did the mountain layer burn down? How do you think that was written? Do you think it was, again, what I said was there was an issue with the presentation. It's not the writing. Do you think they said it, and the mountain layer burns down bad? Do you think they wrote that in the script, Fourth?
No,
it's not a right. It's not a right. I'm telling you guys, like it doesn't. You guys have been fooled. It's not a writing issue with Acolyte. I'm telling you.
I mean, there were bad things like with the chant was kind of cringe. The chant was cringe, but other than that, the action.
Did you think they wrote? Do you think they wrote in the script once again chant cringe?
No.
No.
All right, so let's hear
Give me
this.
some writing issues, people. Come on, we're talking about writing.
I want to hear Manny Jacinto talk about. I want to. He is beloved by. They're gonna bring him back eventually with something, even if it's a Visions episode. I would be okay with that if they. Here we go.
Yeah, he's gonna be in the new Freaky Friday movie.
Okay. Season 2.
There's like 3 people saying that shit.
Oh, this proved forthright. I saw this tweeted. I didn't watch it ahead of time, which I do for my reactions to keep my show more authentic. Not just because I don't want to do research. That's part of it. But yes, I didn't know there's only going to be 3 people season 2. And he's like, yeah. That did seem pretty weak. That did seem pretty mean. See, if I was in the crowd, I'd be chanting, but you wouldn't perp. You'd be like, it was good enough. It was good enough. That would be perps chant.
I would be thanking him already for, hey man, thank you so much for season 1, dude. You guys did a fantastic. That's what I'd be. That's what I'd be doing. I'm not asking for more shit.
I am asking for more.
I'm saying thank you for what you gave me. I'm not asking for more. I'm not a greedy asshole. I'm an actual fan. I'm an actual fan. I'm gonna fanboy out. Thank you.
You can be a fan and want more.
Thank you for giving me what you gave me already. You gave me one of the best, most interesting freaking Star Wars villains I've seen in a long time.
I would
thank you, sir.
I would take the Stranger over Kylo.
But not Max. Max would be like, where are you doing that season 2?
No,
where's my season? Batman. Where is he? Where's season 2?
I want season 2. Yes. Topic perp boys attacking season 2 people. Oh yeah, he's calling you out.
I hate you so
Go ahead,
much,
Blue Jay.
Voltaire.
I want a perp v Voltaire stream for sure.
But didn't you do a Max versus RJ stream, but have to hijack that?
Yeah. People thought. I think even Perp was upset that I invited Nick from Echo Base. I wasn't planning. I actually really wanted.
Not upset. I went to Echo Base.
Yeah,
as much as I disagree with those fuckers and they say some of the dumbest shit ever.
I would totally have a beer with him, and I was happy that I heard he was losing weight, and I wanted to talk about him losing weight because we're both on a weight loss.
No, they're very charismatic. They're very funny. I like the way they
completely
talk.
disagree with this stuff. Yes.
Yeah. No, for sure. No, it's not that.
That's how I roll on my channel. Is like
it's that you ignored my debate.
I forgot about your debate.
I know, and then when I reminded you, you didn't care. You're like, okay,
no,
all right, I forgot it. All right, it's done.
Can I be real with you guys? I've been depressed lately.
Okay.
And a lot of the news cycle, I pay attention. Even though I don't talk about news on the channel much, it's been really depressing me. Stuff that's been happening.
Well, just tell me that, Max.
No, it's been overwhelming me, and I do not like what's happening now. I really don't like, especially with people not getting due process. Is all I'm saying.
Are you getting radicalized? Is that why you're?
No, I want people. I don't want people's rights to be taken away, and I think everyone deserves due process. I don't like this stuff, and I don't like what's happening with the world. I am a globalist. I love things from all over the world. I want to get along with the world. I want, I don't want enemies. I don't like all this stuff. It's really weighing heavy on me. So I have to actually stop myself from watching the news. It gets me down.
Is that why you're yelling? Is that why you're yelling for Acolyte too?
No, I really do want Acolyte too.
Oh.
I do really want the Acolyte too. But let's go to mailbag. Have some good topics here. Did you want to talk about anything, Isaac? Anything that's on your mind that you've been playing? Star Wars Celebration?
No, nothing really.
You've been playing any video games? Do you like video games, Isaac?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I really want to get into Fortnite because everything goes to Fortnite. I got to get into it. Have you ever played Fortnite, Isaac?
No, I never have.
Okay.
Don't worry, Max. I'll teach you the ways of the fort.
In Marvel Rivals, I do
love
want to get
Fortnite.
into that.
Dude, I can't wait for them to release a Batgirl skin in Fortnite. It's coming, man. Any minute now, please.
Oh yeah, Max. Have you heard they're releasing Darth Jar Jar into Fortnite?
I know that's another reason I want to go play Fortnite.
They're making a
here's another
Star Wars now.
So this proves all the haters wrong. Ahsoka season 2 is happening. Rosario Dawson. Ahsoka's even better for me that she's played by Rosario Dawson. And I can't stand all the critics that say she's old and she moves slow. The
fighting choreography could use a step up, man. Come on, man. Especially after Acolyte, it's like
I can explain.
Go ahead.
When they did the prequels, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen and George Lucas went overboard with the choreography,
and
where some of it's cool, but it's not realistic. It's like not.
It's Jedi spacemen,
not how a lightsaber would.
You
move.
said not. You said not
come on, Max. Don't be that argument.
Star Wars.
So when Ahsoka is wielding the lightsaber and has more heft to it, and then also the actual physical lightsabers now, to save time on special effects, which is props to Lucasfilm, they actually use lightsabers that glow and everything. Do you know that?
No.
They do in the stunt work now. So they've changed the lightsabers, and I actually prefer a little bit, not like super slow motion, but a little more thought
I do think hopefully they
oh my bad. Substance to the lightsabers moving through the air. I like that. And this is what Rosario Dawson previews Ahsoka season 2. It's called Star Wars, and we're going to have a pretty significant war. It's so cinematic. Thrawn goes big. And then someone said Rosario Dawson's got her Shinhada. Is that the villain's name vibe going on here?
Yes. With the haircut? Yeah, she does, yeah.
Okay, so what you were going to respond to my love of the Ahsoka lightsaber, that it's a little slow, Perp, in your opinion?
Yeah, no, it was me. I was going to say, yeah, they do. Hopefully they fixed the scenes and the stunts for season 2 and stuff like that. I would just hire the Acolyte stunt team. They did a good job with the action scenes.
Okay.
So I would do that.
Fair point.
To fix the lightsabers. On that, yeah, and stuff. Also, don't use the volume that much. You could tell.
I think people are over the volume.
If you're not John Favreau or Dennis or Steven Spielberg, who using his last movie,
I think that's part of the reason.
Don't do it that much. Don't do it.
I think that's part of the reason I didn't like Thor: Love and Thunder so much, is that I think Taika Waititi did not execute the volume as good as Jon Favreau and the rest.
He used to really be.
Oh my God, Walter!
You have to really be experienced with that technology, and it's not the game changer that people once it was touted as when the Mandalorian started. But your thoughts on the volume or anything, or should it be used, or?
I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. I don't care. Yeah, it's fine.
All right. Isaac, did you watch Ahsoka? I'm not sure if you do. How much Star Wars do you watch? What's your favorite Star Wars?
I did watch the show. Will love the show. And about the lightsaber thing, I don't really like the whole slow motion thing. I think they should go back to having the cool lightsaber fights. That was more cooler. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blue Jay, did you have any thoughts on the Ahsoka or Star Wars Celebration? Any highlights? Or mine was Ahsoka season 2, and then all the animated shows they're working on.
I never. Oh, I think it does. So hold on. I didn't keep track of Star Wars Celebration. I know a couple things. The Sean Levy movie. Whatever stuff that's going on. I like Ahsoka. I mostly see this as more like a sequel series to Rebels than Ahsoka, honestly.
Okay.
Because honestly, the story about them trying to find Ezra, that's the one I was hooked on to. I was like, okay, we gotta find Ezra. The Clone Wars stuff, I don't give a shit about that. Like, sure, it's Clone Wars in live action. Like, we've seen parts of that in the prequels. So that's just me personally. I mean, people want a live action Clone Wars. Like, yeah, we already got that. We already got an anime show about that. There's no more things to tell. But yeah, I liked Ahsoka, not as much as I was hoping for, but I do see where.
So there's room to improve in a season 2.
Yeah, there's room to improve.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I am interested in that ninth Jedi show, that anime. I was like, okay, we're doing something different now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's a lot of Star Wars animation if that's your jam.
Yeah. I like the most series because people been asking for one for a long last time. So like, okay, makes sense. And also they're using George Lucas ideas, which that's good. Obviously he gave his blessings for them to use. So yeah. Yeah, that was dope. And hopefully we get the Sean Levy movie start production later this year. They confirmed that. So hopefully we do get a first photo, like a behind the scenes scene like they did with the Mandalorian movie. So hopefully we do get something like that, yeah.
Well, let me do some funny right now, okay? I'm gonna do a little game of over and under. So I have 2 dice with me, so you might hear a little shaky shake. So I'm gonna say over and under. Let's see, 41% that Taika's movie is a thing.
I'd say under 40. Under 40.
I would say
he's the least likely out of those announcements.
I do like the writers that they brought on, because with Taika Waititi is that you cannot let him go loose. You cannot, because we saw what happened.
Watch me.
What happened with Thor? He went crazy with that movie. That's a lot of creative freedom. That's a lot of creative freedom. They gave him that. And he wrote that movie with in Thor: Love and Thunder. So I like the writers that they brought. Poor Things, and I forgot the other thing that she did as well. Yeah. So like I like the writer. I say 50. I say 50 because
over 41.
Yeah, I say
Right.
I say that.
Perp, what you think?
80%.
Okay.
He's going to get it. I think there's no reason to announce him again. He's already been around Star Wars. He's been around Mandalorian. They like what he has to say. It's not just pitching. It's like he's still around sets and stuff. Isn't he attached to Mandalorian?
Yeah, he did 2 episodes of The Mandalorian before.
He's in there. He's in there. I don't see a reason. And if he was out, like they wouldn't have included him again in this celebration, right? They didn't include Patty. I think it's likely he's going to happen. I'll bet money on it. He's already around Star Wars. Like they like what he has to say. Like
he did like 2 fantastic episodes in the Mandalorian season 1 and 2. Yeah.
Isaac.
I would say 30%. Yeah.
Cool. I agree.
Okay.
So I wanted to bring up this last topic here that I'm trying to find more images because oh yeah, here it is. All right, so I was pleasantly surprised. Well, this too. This is an image from Visions. That looks legit.
Oh, I love the animation, man.
They're going all out.
That's what I want to see Star Wars do. Do different animation. Like,
did you see this before, Blue Jay?
I did not see this, and I love it. Like, I like it when. Okay,
crazy.
I don't get it.
Looks like a Suda 5-1 game.
I've seen like Star Wars comics, like pictures and stuff, where they have like a whole light whip and like this was like Legends comics, like Light Whips, or
Yes.
something so absurdly crazy. This looks like it's up my alley. It's just like it's like
It also that's like a droid she's fighting too, with like a samurai knife.
Yeah, samurai's arms.
Thing, it's like those situations where it's like you ask why, but you accept it anyways. I'm like, it's so overkill, and you just like, okay, I'll definitely watch this.
All right, so I very critical of James Gunn, if you haven't noticed.
Oh, here we go, folks.
I still love James Gunn. I want him to do the best. And I was like, oh, Superman Day is going to be a letdown. All they're going to do is, because RJ kept saying, but there's all these variant covers. I'm like, is that all Superman Day is going to be? But he released the behind the scenes trailer and I loved it. I do agree with Sean that it was super James Gunn focused.
I didn't even notice that.
But
how do you guys
James Gunn? But James Gunn, I think people are more sold on the James Gunn brand than even Superman. Some people right now.
But yeah, because
James Gunn is a brand, though. He is a brand.
I do gotta say this, like he's well known than David.
That's fine.
Well known than Rachel. Him and Nicolas Cage on the same part.
But I finally think this image here with Hawk Girl, her costume really looks. I love the way it's lit.
I don't like the costume
here. I didn't like it in other scenes, but she looks great here.
I don't like the costume.
And then there's also anyone like this image of Hawk Girl?
I like the helmet, but I don't like.
Yeah, that looks amazing. I like the lighting.
It finally works for me in this image. So maybe the finished product, not the behind the scenes stuff of Hawk Girl, is going to look legit. Because I wasn't on board with a lot of like Guy Gardner's costume, things like that.
I just love I just love how everybody picked up the fact that this is like, oh yeah, this is all about James. Like, oh, yeah, sure, yeah, he's a director.
No, but there is something to be said about promoting for James Gunn project. Maybe he's the next. There is an audience for James Gunn, even besides just DC. There's people that are going to go see Superman just because it's James Gunn, not just because it's DC.
Oh no, you're true. No, it's fine. It's just
That is a way to market it. I'm not saying that's the only thing, but it really was James Gunn focused. But there were, if you really look at the trailers, also extra stuff in there. Like for instance, maybe we'll get your reaction here. Isaac, Perp, Blue Jay, Anthony. Is this a Lex Luthor war suit? Is that what we're looking at here? Because I would love to see that in live action. I would love to see Lex go even more, because we haven't really seen that in live action.
It looks like it.
Isn't it too small?
No, he has a bigger suit in the comics. He has bigger. Well, depending.
You know what I loved about this shot, Max?
Mm-hmm.
Is that normally those sparks would probably have been CGI in other movies. Like the fact that they're using practical sparks, like all that stuff is practical.
I think James Gunn does a good job of managing special effects.
He's the CEO.
On time.
He doesn't have to answer to anyone.
Yeah. On time, and for the most part, I like the special effects in James Gunn's projects. I mean, I was thinking of like Peacemaker, there wasn't like anything that crazy. Suicide Squad, but the other stuff,
really, yeah. Suicide Squad and Peacemaker is like, okay, that's like the same stuff already. So I don't.
There was an image that I retweeted of the hallway scene from Guardians 3 where there's a lot of action. I was like, wow, that was a really well shot image. My only criticism with him is sometimes I think that James Gunn will put the preferential treatment on the humor of a shot over the special effects sometimes, where I prefer you focus on the action, because he loves humor. Like sometimes that's my little criticism of some of his directorial decisions. Sometimes he focuses too much on the humor.
Yeah.
But this is cool. Isaac, what do you think of this? This might be Lex in his war suit going after Superman. Would that be cool for you?
Oh yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah. Blue Jay, Anthony, what do you think? Perp, I don't think this looks small at all. This suit.
I mean, we gotta know in context. It does look like the Lex suit. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it is, but I don't know. I'm liking the vibe that it gets. Particularly the one part where we see the I think it was Mr. Terrific's ship, where his gun inside like this red and white ship. I think that's Mr. Terrific's vehicle. It's
And here's another image. I got to rewatch the behind the scenes trailer because we got a better look at Metamorpho too. He looks legit. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Once again,
that looks like practical. Yeah.
Practical when a lot of things would have gone CGI, I think, which is cool.
Yeah. Let me see what else is in here.
Oh, I also like the fact that these robots are also practical as well. I like
the kaiju monster. We get a better look at the kaiju monster. Let's see that. Now this is a toy, but let me bring this up here.
Might have to be like a hot toy version of that thing.
There's Metamorpho. This is a hot toy. What do you mean you don't understand?
No,
I don't understand what people were looking at. It's like he's trying to make himself a brand. It's like when I was looking at that thing, I was looking at the sets, I was looking at the camera. Like, what were you like? Do you guys just hear the name or something, or
hear what?
He's front and center, and he's the beginning of the trailer, the end of the trailer. It's a lot of the reason I decided to make Superman, which some people want to hear though.
I see people complain. I was like, he's more famous than the cast outside of Nicholas.
Senior, that's not cool.
Hey yo, pause, bro. Like,
that's not cool, Senior.
Pause, buddy. But I don't mind that. Like a lot of directors does that. They start with them at the front, talk about the movie, how it did with this practical effects, visual effects, and stuff like that. And then at the end, I come back and talk about the movie. Yeah, I don't mind it. That's an ugly ass kaiju.
The kaiju, I think, could have a little more personality, but it's a little bit better than generic kaiju. Like, for instance, I love Godzilla, the Gareth Edwards Godzilla, but the kaiju in that, the enemies were kind of generic.
The Mutos.
Yeah, the Mutos. So I think it's okay. That's not one of the things I'm looking for the most in Superman, though, is the kaiju. That may or may not be Jimmy Olsen, which is just weird for me to think of that. I know people say that read the comics. That might be Jimmy Olsen. I'm like, what?
Read the comics, guys. Read the comics. You gotta know.
I don't want to read a comic where Jimmy Olsen is a kaiju.
Look, look, man. You gotta pick up a comic book to know these things, man. You can't just go into a movie not knowing anything about a character without a comic book in your hand.
You can. Well, you can be like Max.
I get tired of that argument.
Well,
everybody's comic book to watch this shit, man.
I think there's a lot to be said about reading comics, and that's great. But if you're really going for the mass market and you're shooting for the fences, it should be something that's explainable to the general audiences without supplemental material.
I mean, yeah, the movie explaining
like Superman's going to succeed if you don't have to do all this back research.
If the general audience knows Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, they know their origins. We don't need
RJ gets here now. I'm about to end the show.
Oh, he's going to talk about
He's going to talk
about how mad he is with
John
Travis
Cena
Scott for no reason.
For one time, I like Cody Rhodes because he said something about kissing James Gunn's butt to Cena.
You said kissing John Cena.
You want to kiss John Cena?
No. Cody Rhodes
why?
was
He's a
mocking.
He was doing a promo video. He was doing a promo
Cena saying
John Cena's a nice guy. Why wouldn't you want to kiss him?
So far up Gunn's ass or something?
Well, yeah, it's you, Max. We know that you're up James Gunn's ass. Hi, what's up, everybody?
I could learn a few things if I was, and I would make money on YouTube. I would, yeah.
Like how movies are made.
That's crazy.
It would help you a lot if you learned that. That's for sure.
Well, I'm about to end. I was going to do like 3 mailbag questions because I want to end before 2 hours.
Let's go. I mean,
I still have to exercise. That's why I'm. Because I haven't exercised since Thursday.
Yeah. Well, just real quick. That WrestleMania ending was disappointing.
Not
because I'm cool with Cena winning. Just the way it happened was kind of lame.
John Cena won.
Yeah.
Okay.
Senior's nerd.
Oh, look! There's Isaac in here too. Which movie do you think will make $1 billion? The Legend of Zelda live action or Sonic the Hedgehog 4? Since both of these movies come out the same month, March 2027. I actually think Legend of Zelda live action is probably going to be bigger than Mario. I think that's going to be epic. Good question, Isaac. I didn't know they realized they came out. I love Sonic.
That's a good question. Yeah.
I love Sonic, and Sonic keeps going up. But if you're talking about live action Legend of Zelda, that might be on Lord of the Rings levels if they do.
Yeah, well, you got the guy that did the last. You got the guy that did the last Planet of the Apes movie, which was amazing. So
I like that one too.
Yeah, I would say it would do more than Sonic because Sonic, like Zelda, is the well-known character than Sonic is now.
All right, let's get one from each mailbag person. Crazy Joe, did you have baked ziti for dinner? No. Now you make me wonder if one of the streams I had a stain on my shirt. No, I did not. I had chili. Maybe that was on my shirt.
Chili? You want to go to the bathroom?
It was Costco chili, and the next day, yes.
Of course. That's the reason why I don't buy. This is the reason why you don't buy chilies at Costco. That shit is terrible.
No, it's good. It's good. I still
sometimes depends.
It's worth it for me. It might not be worth it for everyone in this household. Damn straight, Max. Okay, and then Chubby Teddy Monster Productions. Max, will you ever try to get Syl Zod Rider Skywalker back on MME? I miss those days. I would like to, but the gun nuts have taken over the hen house.
What are you talking about?
That would be awkward. Well, for one
dude,
thing,
don't buy Voltaire's propaganda. We're very nice.
There's no benefit of bringing them on right now for them personally.
There is a benefit.
No.
Yeah, they get a little dose of reality. Let's go.
See, that's
bro, you're so late, bro. We about literally.
My champ is here.
Oh God, Taladi.
Where does everybody come from? Who are you people? Who is this guy? I haven't seen you in months.
Costco chili. Be careful, Max. Listen. Okay, and then we will get one from man. I think Joe's gonna end up being the member of the month. Okay, let me see. Let me get this. Max, thoughts on Michael B. Jordan's 4 favorite films: Akira, Bad Boys, Rounders, Devil in a Blue Dress. He's got some good taste.
It's a good ass movie.
Devil in a Blue Dress is very underrated.
And thoughts on Sinners opens up to 61 million at the worldwide box office, biggest domestic opening this decade for an original film. Yes.
And now everyone's patting themselves on the back for seeing an original film. Look what it took.
Jesus. No, but there were scoopers like Jeff Snyder that said they were bad things.
I will say this. The black people will only show up for
what?
This is true. I'm sorry. No.
Wait, what are you talking about?
No. Think about it. The only 2 original movies of the decades to make money is Nope, which is Jordan Peele, and Ryan Coogler. That's the only one in this decade.
So what are you talking about? What about Everything Everywhere All at Once?
That's different. That's not made by 2,
Max
original creators.
I got making.
Say that again.
He's not wrong. They're not wrong. I saw this take on Twitter. I saw it said, yeah, black people do show up for theaters.
Highest grossing domestic IMAX opening.
They show up for Tubi too.
Yeah, they show up for them. Yeah, they show up for
Anthony. Let me ask you. So the secret sauce to make original movies is to have black
well-known directors. If you well-known directors, if you
someone tell Disney to put more black people in their movies, and everyone will calm down.
I don't think because there was mixed with that.
This face right now is a little sus right now. This conversation is a little sus right now.
No. I say if you are famous, if you're not a famous director, they're not gonna see it.
Okay.
Did you see it?
You need to watch what you say right there.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean like I didn't say like I saw this take on Twitter. I saw black people show up for theaters only for.
All right, I gotta end. This. Thank you, Anthony, for opening that.
I didn't know he was talking about black directors. Jeez.
Okay. Yeah. My bad. I saw a tweet on Twitter that said. Oh yeah, people will show up for.
I had to come in just before we wrap up. I had to come in.
No, I got it.
No, John Cena. We know John Cena won.
It's about James Gunn.
John Cena won.
It's about James Gunn.
I'm trying to end before 2 hours so I get my AI clip out.
James Gunn mentioned about the WWE thing. I'm going to mention that.
It's a blueprint.
Good night, everyone. Thank you, members. We will be.
Max says bad things. Bye, everybody.
We could be a little bit behind the scenes,
Max,
Isaac and everyone.
You need to go easy.
I'm a gun nut.
Those CGI